Good morning, everyone. Minister, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome, a very warm welcome to Kuala Lumpur this morning and this high-level investor forum on the new ocean energy economy, brought to you by the Asian Development Bank and by the Indonesia-Malaysia-Thailand-Growth Triangle. Great to have you along here. We've got a full day of interesting activities for you this morning. We've got a number of short individual presentations and a few panel discussions on the elements of the ocean economy, which I hope will prove enlightening for all of you concerned. Let's kick off the activities straight away by setting the scene with this short video. So, folks, our agenda today is to promote some scalable and innovative ocean energy solutions. We have an eclectic collection of people in the room with diverse opinions and really interesting ideas. You can see some of those potential solutions on the banners around the room, and hopefully you'll be able to engage with the people behind them. But we'll begin with a few individual perspectives from our distinguished guest speakers, and let me invite to open up the proceedings this morning some opening remarks from Mr. Alfredo Perdiguero, who's the Director of Regional Cooperation and Operations in the Coordination Division of the Southeast Asia Department of the Asian Development Bank.
Honorable Minister of Economy, Tuan Moh Rafifi, it is really an honor to have you here, Minister. Dear colleagues, Director General, ladies and gentlemen, speakers, and also Director for the Center of IMT-GT, Pak Firdaus. It is really a great pleasure for me to be in this forum. As you all know, this event is co-hosted by the Asian Development Bank and the Center of the IMT-GT. This is the Center of Indonesia, Malaysia, and Thailand Growth Triangle, IMT-GT. The Secretariat of the IMT-GT, led by Pak Firdaus, has had the idea of organizing this quite some time, and we are very happy that finally we were able to put this together after we can meet all here face to face. Now, over the years, I have really been very impressed by the IMT-GT ability to evolve. It is now 30 years, actually, that the IMT-GT was created, and is still a very relevant initiative, very alive. IMT-GT is already a very well-known leader in the region on green development. They have the Green Cities Initiative, that is a very iconic initiative trying to develop green cities all over the sub-region. And I'm now very delighted that IMT-GT is also going into the area of blue economy. At ADB, blue financing is also an emerging area with increased interest from investors, from financial institutions, and issuers globally. It offers tremendous opportunities to help safeguard our access to clean water, protect underwater environments, and invest in a sustainable water economy. Understanding the risk, the opportunities of our ocean is a very critical step, and first step, I would say, in formulating and adopting well-calibrated and well-harmonized policies. Re-examining marine renewable energy and its use cases is a timely initiative, and we struggle to do when we're struggling with these multiple crises. I think somebody called this the poly crisis. No? So this poly crisis that we are facing now actually needs informed solutions, and it requires the best available knowledge and a supportive policy environment. In ADB, we are also trying to support you, support the IMT-GT, and we are actually reorganizing ourselves to be able to respond faster, quicker, more efficiently to all our clients, including, of course, to Indonesia, Malaysia, and Thailand. And part of that is also to try to tackle solutions in a multi-sectoral way. And I think this is something very relevant also for the blue economy, which, as we know, the problems are very multi-sectoral and very complex. The Asia-Pacific region is highly vulnerable to impacts of climate change. Promoting a green and blue recovery is very important to save our planet, to restore our health, and create more green and blue jobs. Towards this end, the Asian Development Bank has committed to deliver $100 billion in climate finance by 2030 to speed up the momentum to tackle climate change risk, decarbonize our region, and leverage innovative financing to support green projects across the region, green and blue projects. ADB has a very important role to play in restoring these region oceans, and to fulfill this role, ADB launched the Action Plan for Healthy Oceans and Sustainable Blue Economies. It was more than 3 years ago we launched this plan. And this announcement also included the commitment for ADB to provide technical assistance and investments of $5 billion for the period 2019 to 2024. I don't really know if we have reached half of that because we are in 2023 now, so we make the announcement, but we are into it. We are really committed to keep supporting Blue. Now, the Blue Southeast Asia Finance Hub is also supporting this initiative, and it was recently established. We also established another Blue Hub in the Pacific. So, as I said, it's still a new area for us, but now we are committing specific teams on this. This hub was launched in November 2021 and is hosted in Jakarta, and is trying to operationalize this ADB action plan for healthy oceans in ASEAN. Let me just finish and say that today the event is the culmination of research and knowledge gathering by a team of experts, many of whom are here today. Far from providing concrete answers, I think today's event is to share this knowledge and to explore how solutions can materialize to the benefit of the ocean and the communities that rely on this ocean's bounty. To this end, I want to convey my congratulate all the projects submitted, and I understand that these projects include many projects also from here, from IMT-GT region. The projects are really innovative and are very exciting and are showing us very good examples and the way forward. It's really very impressive to see so many experts here and many people from private sector, from governments, and from different countries. So I wish you a very productive day. And let's see if we can come up with some concrete steps on how to move forward. And thanks again, Minister, for being with us today. Thank you very much.
Alfredo, thank you very much indeed. And let's also get some welcoming remarks from our co-host today from the IMT-GT. Mr. Firdaus Dahlan is the Director of the Center for Subregional Cooperation. Sir.
His Excellency Mr. Muhammad Rafizi bin Ramli, Ministers of Economy Malaysia, Honorable Dato' Nur Azmi Diron, Deputy Secretary General, Ministry of Economy Malaysia, and also joining us online as well today, Honorable Dr. Edip Priyo Pambudi, Deputy Ministers for International Economic Cooperation, coordinating Ministry of Economic Affairs Indonesia. Dr. Andreas D.P. Patria, Head of Communication Bureau, coordinating Ministry of Maritime and Investment Affairs Indonesia. My good friend, Mr. Alfredo Perdiguero, Director Regional Cooperation and Operation Coordination Division, Southeast Asian Department, ADB. Honorable Dr. Tutai Kerati Pong Paibun, Directors of International Strategy and Coordination Division, Office of the National Economic and Social Development Council, Kingdom of Thailand. Ms. Odapon Pengern, First Secretary, Realtor Embassy. Dr. Priyanta Wijayatungga, Chief of Energy Sector Group, SDCC, ADB. My good friend, Mr. Stephen Peter, Senior Energy Specialist, ADB. Excellencies, distinguished panelists, participants, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, selamat pagi, sawadikap. First and foremost, allow me to extend my warmest welcome to Your Excellency Minister Muhammad Rafizi bin Ramli and all distinguished guests and participants to the high-level investor forum on the new ocean energy economy here at the Kuala Lumpur Convention Center, Malaysia. On behalf of the organizing committee as well, allow me to express my sincere gratitude and high appreciation to Your Excellency Minister Rafizi for being with us today and kindly inaugurate this forum. Your Excellency, Ministers, As mentioned by my colleague just now, our forum today is organized under the collaboration between Center of IMT-GT Subregional Cooperation, or we call it CIMT, and ASEAN Development Bank, with the support from IMT-GT member countries in conjunction with the 30th IMT-GT anniversary celebrations, which is going to be inaugurated by IMT-GT leaders at the 15th IMT-GT Summit to be held in Indonesia coming up in May 2023. On this opportunity, I would like also to thank IMT-GT member countries for the support provided, and particularly to ADB for being a partner of IMT-GT for this event. As a matter of fact, ADB has been IMT-GT partner since 1994, right after the birth of IMT-GT in 1993. Indeed, it is a long-standing partnership. Thank you, ADB. Excellency, the main objective of our event today is to promote substantial cooperation for innovative, scalable, integrated ocean energy solution and regenerative business activities in littoral states and communities. Today, we will discuss the potential of the ocean to produce renewable energy and transport it into some economic benefits in our economy. This topic is quite relevant, especially to the IMT-GT sub-region, which has a sheer abundance of maritime resources. Excellencies, honorable distinguished participants, environment sustainability should become the paradigm of our current and future development agenda. IMT-GT has adopted a framework that already takes into account environmental sustainability in our sub-regional development strategy. This strategy is documented in our latest implementation blueprint, what we call it IB 2022-2026. In our current IB, IMT-GT adopt the green, blue, and circular economy approach to ensure the sustainability of our sub-regional environment. Moreover, this approach not only shows our commitment to align our development strategy with the global environmental agenda, but also become our strategy to tap new market and investment opportunities. Excellencies, honorable distinguished participants, besides the IB, it is also important to share our panelists today. IMT-GT also has a strategic document called the IMT-GT Sustainable Urban Development Framework, SUDF. This framework becomes our guidance in identifying action plan to develop green city network in the sub-region. It also becomes our guide to ensure the implementation of our environmental initiative, which is coherent and in line with local, national, regional, and international priorities. In our SUDF, we identify a total $16.9 million of investment to implement project and program which include infrastructure intervention, planning intervention, and awareness building measures through 2019-2036. Through this initiative, we expect to achieve a reduction of annual greenhouse gas emission up to 6 million tons of CO2, around 142 million liters fuel saved every year, and a reduction of 4,757 million units total electricity consumption every year. Through this strategic document, we hope IMT-GT can align its development initiative and contribute to achieving the global environmental agenda. In this regard, exploring initiative under the new ocean energy economy is one of the most concrete examples of this endeavor. IMT-GT is blessed with a strategic geographical position. The sub-region is connected to the Indian Ocean, Andaman Sea, and Gulf of Thailand, and also South China Sea. And most important as well is the Strait of Malacca, which make the sub-region rich in maritime resources. If we can leverage this potential to produce renewable energy and promote ecotourism that preserves, regenerates, and enhances marine ecosystem, we can unlock new income sources for the sub-region. Even more, we can also ensure the environmental sustainability of our sub-region. I hope through our discussion today, we can explore some potential and practical initiatives as well as tap investment opportunities under the new ocean energy economy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Dahlan. Thank you to the ADB and the IMT-GT for not only convening this activity today, but also bringing the spotlight onto this very important and vital area for discussion. Very shortly, we'll have the Minister giving his keynote speech. But before we do that, folks, let's just get a couple more introductory comments and perspectives from here. We got a couple of opening comments. I'm not quite sure what Steve is suggesting, but from what I understand, Ms. Eden Uchel is up next, just giving us introductory remarks, Director of the Palau Energy and Water Administration. Please, Eden, join us.
Bit short here. Ali, greetings from Palau. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this high-level investment forum. We thank ADB and the Center for Indonesia, Malaysia-Thailand-Growth Triangle. Before I begin, I would like to recognize Honorable Yang Berhormat Muhammad Rafizi bin Ramli, the Minister of Economy, Malaysia, Mr. Alfredo Perdiguero, Director of Regional Cooperation and Operations Coordination Division, Southeast Asia Department, ADB, Pak Firdaus Dahlan, Director of the Center for IMT-GT Subregional Cooperation, and Mr. Romero Montenegro, Assistant Secretary and Deputy Executive Director of Mindanao Development Authority in the Philippines. Welcome. Excellencies, representatives of development partners, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to extend a warm welcome to all distinguished representatives at this high-level investor forum on marine aquaculture, reefs, renewable energy, and ecotourism for ecosystem services. I would like to recognize ADB and development partners, the notable IMT-GT, for their work and for covering this forum, offering us a unique opportunity and to gather and discuss important issues for substantive advancements towards the new ocean energy economy. As we are at the forefront of climate change, our cumulative voices must engender meaningful change towards actions that will impact socio-economic development, but hopefully secure our common futures that paves the path ahead as it relates to financing and moving the ideas and concepts to implementation. Palau fully subscribes to the achievement of SDG 7 on clean and affordable energy by 2030 and net zero emissions by 2050. To achieve such an ambitious target, and with Palau's current power system still dominated by fossil fuel generation, the various renewable technologies have had to be considered and evaluated. So the cost of technology to make the transition to renewable energy while addressing the economies of scale is challenging, especially with the need for more access to financing and support. That said, we are working on becoming energy independent. We have a goal of reaching 20% renewable energy by 2023, yes, this year, and by 2025, we will reach 45% on the road to our goal of 100% by 2032. Our new and current president announced our ambitious goal of achieving 100% renewable energy by 2032 at the recent Our Oceans conference. It's not going to be easy, especially with limited resources and access to financing mechanisms, but we are committed. It's ambitious, and we are very focused. And we are working with bilateral and multilateral development partners whose supports are critical in getting the financing required and realizing such an ambitious goal. We will stay committed to our goals and the paths that we have taken to achieve such goals. As large ocean states, we must accelerate the development of ocean energy technologies and look into emerging technologies such as green hydrogen, battery storage, and the accelerated deployment of other renewables such as geothermal, solar, wind, biomass, and hydro. Energy policy and regulatory frameworks, including fossil fuel mitigation frameworks, are critical when engaging with the international community. The private sector engagement and strategic and genuine partnerships must be considered as key drivers of accelerating the energy transition in developing nations. It is vital for appropriate financing mechanisms and the implementation of the Loss and Damage Fund to reach vulnerable nations. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I reiterate that there must be financing and meaningful partnerships to secure all of our futures. In Palawan, Komhal Masulangan Mlay. In English, it means thank you for coming, and we are looking forward to a very, very productive and a great forum. Thank you very much.
And our final set of introductory comments this morning. Mr. Romeo Montenegro is the Assistant Secretary and Deputy Executive Director of Mindanao Development Authority in the Philippines.
Thank you very much. To Honorable Muhammad Rafizi bin Ramli, Minister of the Ministry of Economy, Malaysia, and Signing Minister for both BIMPIAGA and IMT-GT. And of course, Deputy Minister Dato Nur Azmi Diron, who's also our senior official for BIMPIAGA and for IMT-GT. BIMPIAGA and MT-GT are two of the most dynamic sub-regional cooperations in Southeast Asia, supported by the Asian Development Bank. And I represent BIMPIAGA. I had to skip the annual strategic planning meeting now ongoing in Brunei, Bandar Seri Begawan, because I needed to be here. But I understand Dato Iron and Alfredo are flying out there tonight for the senior officials retreat happening tomorrow, where our senior official from the Philippines and Brunei Darussalam are there also waiting. And Mr. Alfredo Perdiguero, of course, our staunch supporter for BIMPIAGA and IMT-GT, the Director for Regional Cooperation and Operations of the Asian Development Bank, Southeast Asia. And Dr. Priyantha Buyatunga, Chief of Energy of Energy Group of the Asian Development Bank. Mr. Firdaus Dayan, Director for Center of IMT-GT. And Director Eddie Pambudi, Deputy Minister for International Cooperation for Ministry of Economic Affairs of Indonesia, again, our counterpart for BIMPIAGA. You know, BIMPIAGA and IMT-GT both work together since 2015, starting off with a collaboration on trade fair and business leaders conference. We've done one in Indonesia, another one in Mindanao, and the last one we had prior to pandemic was in Songkhla, Thailand, and we were looking forward to having another joint BIMPIAGA and IMT-GT trade fair and business leaders conference soon, and this time around to integrate blue economy as an added feature of that international sub-regional cooperation. And of course, Director Eden Uchen of Palau Energy and Water Administration. Ladies and gentlemen, magandang umaga in the Philippines. Salamat pagi. At the outset, we wish to thank the Asian Development Bank for organizing this forum and for leading the initiatives across these both sub-regions in terms of harnessing our collective action towards the path to a cleaner and sustainable future. I speak on behalf of Mindanao, Philippines. Mindanao is the second largest island of the Philippines, with a population of 22 million, and a regional economy whose growth is largely attributed to agriculture sector, especially our marine resources. The second, which led us to becoming a major player in the world in terms of seaweeds, pineapple, tuna, and of course, the most famous Cavendish banana coming from Mindanao. We are closest to any ASEAN country in Mindanao, and historically had been culturally and economically integrated to Brunei, Indonesia, and Malaysia even before we became a republic. And therefore, the BIMP-IAGA is a revival of centuries-old ties that have existed between Philippines and the three other areas in this region. This is the very reason why we pursue broader coordination and cooperation under the sub-regional cooperation called Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, East ASEAN Growth Area, the counterpart of IMT-GT, which are both supported by the Asian Development Bank as the regional cooperation advisor. With the effects of climate change and global warming already having the impacts being felt in Mindanao, particularly on our water, energy, food resources, and the shocks of every now and then long dry spell, typhoons, and weather disturbances that have becoming regular. We used to be saying that Mindanao is typhoon-free about 10 years ago, but in the last 10 years, two of the most devastating typhoons that struck the Philippines passed by Mindanao already. And these disturbances are bound to continue to happen in varying durations and intensity in the future unless we do something. And so there is no better time to act than now. And this is precisely why the Mindanao Development Authority, which serves as the Philippine Coordinating Office for BIMP-IAGA, based in Davao, Mindanao, in partnership with the Department of Energy, the Department of Finance, as well as the Climate Change Commission, endeavors to vigorously pursue efforts to accelerate energy transition in the Philippines, piloted in Mindanao, and also looking at pursuing initiatives on blue economy development and food security. The last recent years have seen major policies being crafted and have shifted towards creating an environment conducive this time around for cleaner and sustainable energy technologies to grow and expand across varying scales, something that was lacking in the picture about 10, 15 years ago. The focus being given by the national Philippine government and support extended to us by ADB and accord the recognition of Mindanao's crucial contribution to the country's overall energy transition direction and the development of a green and sustainable economy. Right now, we are we're working on a partnership with a consortium of diverse sectors in the Philippines, including the academe, the business community, and of course, our partnership with the Singapore-based group, Ocean Pixel. We are currently working to establish a blue economy hub in Mindanao, which aims to pursue initiatives that help address the challenges in mitigating ocean pollution and adapting to climate change impacts by accelerating development of pipeline of blue projects and improve sustainability and conservation of the region's oceans, water bodies, and marine ecosystems, and catalyzing a flow of capital from both public and private sources into well-designed blue projects targeted in Mindanao. Today, this forum is the specific moment in time when we cross over the threshold of business as usual, and where new technologies are made possible to usher us into an economic growth of a sustainable future. And that's why I'm happy and I'm glad that today's forum is certainly an important step towards that blue economy journey for us in Mindanao, for BIMP-IAGA and IMT-GT. Maraming salamat and good morning, everyone.
So the introductory comments. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get straight now into the keynote speech of this morning. Let me invite to the stage, please give a warm welcome to the Honorable Mohammed Rafizi bin Ramli, Minister of the Economy for Malaysia.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning. Datuk Nur Azmi Dirun, Secretary General, Ministry of Economy for Malaysia, Honorable Dr. Eddie Priyopambudi, who's joining us virtually, Deputy Minister for International Cooperation, Coordinating Ministry for Economic Affairs, Republic of Indonesia, Mr. Romeo Montenegro, Assistant Secretary and Deputy Executive Director, Mindanao Development Authority, Mr. Alfredo Perdiguero, Director, Regional Cooperation and Operations Coordination Division at the ADB, Pak Firdaus Dahlan, Director, Center for IMT-GT, Mr. Priyanta Vijayatunga, Chief of Energy Sector Group at the ADB, just now Ms. Eden Uchel, Director, Palau Energy and Water Administration, leadership of agencies involved in coordinating IMT-GT, experts, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I have to apologize for the 40 minutes delay. The traffic around here is as unpredictable as the weather nowadays. No one should be made to wait for half an hour. But I hope that does not get in the way of my welcoming all of you to the High-Level Investor Forum today on the new ocean energy economy. I'm pleased to see participation of a number of thought leaders in the ocean energy space, including business leaders, project developers, as well as provincial and local government authorities. I would like to express, obviously, appreciation to Asian Development Bank and Center for IMT-GT, Subregional Cooperation, for hosting this event, which is also, as Pak alluded just now, in conjunction with the 30th IMT-GT anniversary celebration. This forum is organized to support and promote substantial cooperation for innovative and scalable integrated ocean energy solutions and regenerative business activities in littoral states and communities within this region. With the theme, Introducing the New Ocean Energy Economy, this platform can serve as an avenue for the global energy transition that will open up a spectrum of new opportunities for the long-term development of our country's economy, especially in new value-driven growth areas. In Malaysia, the energy sector has long been a critical engine of growth for the economy. The energy sector will continue to play a key role in catalyzing socio-economic development for the country and supporting the United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development Goals. We've recently launched National Economic Policy that sets an overarching strategic policy direction for the country's energy sector, reaffirming our commitment for energy transition to achieve the national goal of net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2050 and to future-proof the energy sector. The implementation of this national energy policy will require collaboration and cooperation with a wide range of stakeholders in both public and private sectors, with new investments into emerging clean energy sectors. Given the increased importance of environmental sustainability in the face of energy transition and amidst many competing socio-economic priorities, I believe there will be various low-carbon pathways. The journey or the path that each country takes depends on where their starting point is, what is their unique position, and what are the resources available and accessible to each. Ladies and gentlemen, the sub-region of Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand is uniquely situated in the Asia-Pacific region. At the center of Southeast Asia, it is adjacent to the world's largest markets of the blue economy, and being a nation surrounded by seas, the sub-region has tremendous growth opportunities to harness energy from the ocean. This is particularly important when there is a great pressure to pursue a sustainable alternative energy. Simultaneously, world energy consumption has been rapidly increasing, and it is estimated to rise considerably over the next decades. Based on the World Energy Outlook published in 2012, electricity generating marine energy, including wave and tidal power, is expected to increase to 60 terawatt hours in 2035. Wave energy is enormous and more reliable than other renewable resources such as solar and wind energy because of its density, which is greater than that of wind and solar, and hopefully, at the rate things are going, global wave energy resources are estimated at 17 terawatt hour per year. Aside from the thrilling surfing enthusiasts and thrilling beachgoers, when we talk about the power of ocean waves, the destructive potential has long earned the respect of generations of fishermen in this area and other mariners who encounter the forces of the sea. Yet, ocean waves can be harnessed into useful energy to reduce our dependency on fossil fuels. In this country, we've seen a lot of efforts in the last 1 decade on other forms of RE, but not so much on ocean waves. And I have seen tremendous initiatives even to connect the whole region to make sure that our RE is approached collectively as a region and no longer as individual states. In the last 1 month, the new administration has made bold policy decisions, which includes the energy cooperation with Singapore, where the demand is the highest for the time being, and hopefully we will be able to extend that to work collectively with Indonesia and Thailand to approach this whole region as one RE hub in the next 5 to 10 years. We are committed to developing renewable energy to reduce reliance on fossil fuels, resolve the increasing patterns of energy demands, and reduce greenhouse gas emissions. In order to spur the growth of the renewable energy market, the government is encouraging renewable energy producers to apply for a feed-in tariff. We are not insulated from global conditions. We experienced some of the most severe flooding in our history at the end of 2021 in this country. And the beginning of this year, we've gone through it again, which displaced about 100,000 people and caused a cumulative loss of 6.1 billion ringgit. Currently, higher input prices and disruptions in food supply chain led to an increase in food inflation of 5.2% in May 2022, which, albeit still considerably lower by international standard, by Malaysian standard, it has been historically high. In the same way, COVID-19 has had varying effects on different groups in society, and soaring food prices are hitting our lower income households even more than the rest of the population. The challenges that we are facing now underscore the importance for all stakeholders in the sub-region, including every level of government and the private sector, to adopt principles of inclusiveness and to pursue economic development sustainably. Addressing these interrelated challenges also requires innovative improvements and financing, technology sharing, and capacity building. All of these endeavors are possible, but I would like to urge all participants to keep one central idea in mind today, that greater coordination of efforts will be required to support the transitions towards a low-carbon economy. This is especially true within the relative complexity of the blue economy, where by their very nature, boundaries are more fluid, but it is encouraging that we are able to showcase so many exciting examples of such coordinated and integrated efforts today. The blue economy is an important theme in Malaysia's 12th development plan that highlights our strategies to enhance the sustainability of our ports, shipping and marine transport, sectors which represent 40% of Malaysia's GDP. We also made a commitment to achieve net zero carbon emissions by 2050 and to maintain at least 50% forest cover over the total land area. To continue the central theme, linking the blue economy to Malaysia's net zero commitments will require a coordinated regulatory and policy platform for maritime sector development. Ladies and gentlemen, the ocean is a vast and powerful resource that has the potential to revolutionize the way we generate electricity and drive economic growth. We must continue to invest in research and development in these technologies to fully realize their potential and drive economic growth. To this end, I believe that this sub-region is well placed to emerge as a regional leader in low-carbon blue economy. I hope this event will serve as a platform for all participants to exchange ideas and share experiences that will contribute to the successful implementation of green growth policies and programs and promote climate resilience and prosperity in every sector and every part of our country. Let us work together to grasp the opportunities within our reach. There is a need of high-level investors to drive the development of ocean energy in these sub-regional areas. That includes, we need to bridge the gap between research and commercialization. We need to build the necessary infrastructure, and we need to create jobs and economic opportunities that ocean energy can bring. Therefore, I hope that this forum can reiterate the importance of establishing strong partnerships in this region and highlight the mechanisms through which stakeholders may access support. We all have a role to play in the new ocean energy. There are many short-term challenges ahead of us. However, so long as we steer the course and remain committed to the energy transition process, we will reap the benefits in due time. I look at you, people in this room and those joining us virtually. I'm glad that we have among us the energy experts to take on some of these challenges today. And I hope on that note, we'll use as much as possible these opportunities, and hopefully we'll be able to work together to see fruitions of today's proceedings. And at my level, we'll be following up with the IMT-GT to make sure that some of the outcomes of today will map it with our own planning at our level. And hopefully we'll be able to see some products of our forum today in the near future. And I would be more than happy to come back in your next proceedings to see where we have gone from today's forum to the next milestone in this journey. So on that note, I wish you a successful and productive forum, and I hope we'll be able to follow through because that's usually the problem with forums and proceedings. And hopefully, given the necessity of wiring our regions together when it comes to renewable energy, hopefully some of the initiatives and outcomes of today's proceedings will be able to be slotted into our respective countries' planning for the next year and the years to come. So thank you very much and have a nice day. And I look forward to what you can bring to the table for our collective journey towards more sustainable development in this region. Thank you very much.
And thank you very much to our distinguished speaker this morning for that keynote address. And from a number of very important comments, let me just pick one out that I think will probably be echoed in the minds of many people in this room. The one point that you made, we need high-level investors to drive the development of the ocean economy. Very much a key theme in a lot of today's activities, folks. So coming up next, the first of the plenary sessions, where we'll talk about what is the new ocean energy economy and what its parameters are and how we can begin to engage with it. Before we start that, why don't you grab a quick cup of coffee and stretch your legs for just a couple of minutes, not too long since we are running a little bit behind schedule. Please grab a quick drink and return to your tables as soon as you can. Thanks very much indeed, and see you in a moment.